Today marks exactly 10 years since our mom passed away. Yes, and it was a moment that we had closure because she passed away from breast cancer, but it wasn't an easy moment at all. And it had a bunch of effects in our life that not as powerful as 10 years later, but still in our thoughts and still in our minds. It's not like we didn't grow up with her. Yes, we had her all the way up till
we were 22.
22, right before we graduated college. And one thing that I see whenever I look at other people with their moms as adults, it's like, wow, I don't really get to experience that.
Yeah, as an adult with our mom. So I really wish how we were able to experience that, because there's just different questions that I didn't have when I was younger that I have now that I wish I could ask her.
Yes, and there's just so many things from just learning more about her, if we were older and experiencing her, or even asking her questions like, what do you think about this person that I'm dating? Or what do you think about that? Like getting that type of woman advice about the women that we were dating. Like we didn't get that directly from our mom because she just wasn't there as we were older and getting to know other people. I felt like that could have been a difference in how we handled our relationships.
Yes, because we really didn't talk about it. And one thing I am thankful for is that we did get to experience our mom up to 22, because we learned what peace around her was.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we were in high school, so first off, the way that she got cancer was because she served in the military. So she was in the Army for 20 years, just like our dad. And in fact, they met in the military. She served a tour in Kuwait, and while she was there were chemicals in the air, sandstorms, and she contracted breast cancer from that.
And then the breast cancer eventually became all the way up to stage 4 and metastasized to different parts of her body. And it was, we were all at the hospital, us, our dad, our sisters, a bunch of other people and family members came to show her love and support. And one thing I'm thinking about, why he's saying peace, because she wasn't perfect, just like every other human being was not perfect. But we would take her to chemotherapy treatments.
In high school, we were in high school driving her to her chemotherapy treatment.
We would skip track practice to go take her and go sit down with her while she was getting her treatments. And we would laugh, we would joke, but the moments that I remember most, which is just the most powerful moments, were when we were just sitting there and just at peace. Yes, this is happening right now and we're seeing her slowly degrade, but she wasn't complaining, she wasn't upset at anybody. She accepted the facts and the circumstances that she had cancer. And yes, it did affect her, and it affected our father a whole lot.
Because he was right there taking her to all the different treatments. And then when they were flying from Alabama to Florida, so she went to a different treatment center, he was taking her. But that whole time, she did her best to not complain. And just want to ask a few questions. What are some things that you remember about Mommy that you enjoyed? You know, it's one thing I always loved. Like it would be quiet in the house, right? And we just hear the TV going downstairs, whatever she's watching, and then suddenly we hear her laugh out of nowhere. It was one of the most joyful laughs that she had.
Mm-hmm. One thing I remember is we were me and you. We took her to Olive Garden or something like that.
It was a Pizza Plus spot.
It was Olive Garden. And me and him were bickering, arguing about something. It was something stupid. And then she turned around at us because she was driving, and we're in the back. Then she turned around, stop acting like two little. And then she turns back, and then me and him just looked at each other, just appalled, because she's never done that. Never ever spoken to us like that. She would let our dad be doing the disciplining, but she didn't have him there at the time to do it, so she had to step up.
I'll tell you, when you have peace, when it comes to moments of power like that, it hits a lot harder.
Yes, and she didn't speak to us in that way. She didn't talk to us down in a way. So what that did was she kind of spoiled us. We didn't realize it. Yeah. You know, our dad would be dealing with the things on his own, but how she presented herself to us as her sons, we didn't see her angry directly at us. We didn't see her upset with us directly or speak down upon us or do anything like that.
In fact, our dad really pushed for us to go to nursing school, and we wanted to go to school for film. And she was the one that told them, let them do what they want to do. And then like a year or two later, our dad was like, I've just been talking with your mom. We wanted to see if you guys really wanted this. And it was because of her that we got our first camera, the first like HD, like DSLR camera to be able to make short films.
Yes, and we could talk about so many other things, but one of the most powerful things that I remember her saying is that she won't complain.
In fact, it's on her tombstone.
And so if I wanted to share anything to you all, is to take in what she took in as her motto, especially during one of the hardest times in her life and our family's life, is that I won't complain. Complaining doesn't help anything. It makes the mindset completely different. So complaining through the pain causes more pain.
But she was joyous through the pain. And there was actually a moment which was incredible. I remember it's actually behind us right now, the football from the University of Alabama. We were able to get the football team that year, 2014, to sign the football. And we got the call that we just all needed to rush to the hospital. So we rushed there, and our family gets there. We present her the football. And that day, she was actually supposed to pass away. She lived another day, and that allowed us to be able to pray with her, to be able to have good closure, to be able to sing songs to her that she loved. And we know that she is definitely in heaven. She saw a vision, actually. She was very weak. She had no muscles, just frail. And we actually had to lift her up to move her from the chair to the bed. Like, that's how much she couldn't move. But then suddenly, like in the middle of the night, she wakes up out of her dream, or wakes up out of whatever she was in, and says, I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
It was our sister Joyce was like, oh, Mom, I don't know if she was joking with her or not. Like, you scared? You don't have to be scared or something. I forgot exactly what Joyce said, but she gets up and says exactly what he's saying.
She stood up. She was late. She couldn't move. She stood up and was saying, I'm not scared. So that shows that in those moments when we should be scared, when we should be weak, that's when God makes you the strongest. In our weakness, that's when God shows our strength. And she definitely showed that. She had that.
So we'll close this video out. Just want to say thank you, Mom, for everything that you've done. And thank you, God, for allowing us to have our mother in our life.
And they always called me the mama's boy. So I really am just thankful that we had a mother like you, and we're ready to see you in the kingdom of heaven.